Three in-state opponents are clashing inside McGurk Arena tonight. The Western Michigan Broncos, the Michigan State Spartans, and the hosts, the Central Michigan Chippewas, right here in Mount Pleasant on this Friday night on ESPN. I'm Riley Edwards alongside Nora Fettinger. And it's been a little bit since you've been in McGurk Arena again, but a four-year gymnast at Central Michigan, how does it feel to be back?
It's so good to be back. It brings back so many great memories, and I'm just so excited to see these three teams compete tonight.
And I think that that can't be understated right there. You mentioned the three teams that are in here, all ranked within the top 50 in the NCAA. Central Michigan comes in at 49. On the other hand, Western Michigan all the way up to 23. And then you look at Michigan State, who's right at 15 right now. A couple of tough losses for them this year, but you said it best. I think we're going to see a lot of great stuff here tonight. And, I mean, all of these teams are coming off of some tough opponents. Michigan State coming off of a win against Maryland where they were able to top them, actually took all four events there, and now everyone going in at this tri-meet tonight. Taking a look at the rotations, though, we start on the vault with Central Michigan, the bars, Western Michigan, and then Michigan State on the beam. And I'm sure a lot of people watching are going to be waiting for that floor routine later. A lot of great gymnasts who are going to be on the floor tonight. So you can see your lineups there. Starts with Quinn Skrupa for CMU, and hop it over to the bars. Western Michigan. Molly Freeman is getting it started for the Broncos, as you see the rest of it there. Annie Petrusik, Donna Catherine Roy, Allie Faulkner, Peyton Murphy, who has had an outstanding run as of late, and same thing for the person who's anchoring that rotation, Sarah Morvansky. And taking a look at that third rotation, Michigan State mentioned on the beam to start tonight. Got Alyssa Wiedemann, Gianna Khalifi, Gabby Stephen, who has also been a standout for Michigan State as a freshman this season, Nia Smith, Leah Mitchell, and then Bailey Garcia caps off that beam routine for the Spartans. So just a little over a minute left in their touch warm-ups here tonight, but a lot of exciting individuals here that we're going to see. And Nora, being back in here in a tri-meet, and after all of these battles that all these teams have gone through, what are you focusing on tonight?
I'm just excited to see these teams have a great meet and just build upon what they've done this entire season.
And that's something they've really been building momentum moving forward. Central Michigan coming into this 1-2, 1-1 within the Mid-American Conference. Look at Michigan State, who we mentioned, ranked number 15 in the country, 5-2 overall, but those two losses coming to the two top teams in their conference. That just so happens to be number 1 overall ranked Michigan, and then also number 17 Iowa, so a couple of tough losses for them moving forward, but looking to have a good performance here tonight. Western Michigan, on the other hand, 5-2, 3-0 within the Mid-American Conference, right up there tied with Kent State for the lead currently, but those two losses, well, last time out, they had a couple of ranked opponents on their hand, traveling to Tuscaloosa, to Alabama to play in a primetime matchup there, as it looks like the gymnasts are about set and ready to go. 5 seconds left in their 4-minute touch warm-up. So taking a look at Quinn Skrupa getting ready on the vault for Central Michigan. Skrupa, a freshman out of Brandon, Manitoba, Canada. The highest score in the vault so far this season, a 9.750. That was on January 30th when Central Michigan traveled to Ball State.
Quinn leads off the Chippewas with a great Yurchenko full. We'll hop on the landing, but great start for the Chippewas.
Well, the freshman gets Central Michigan led off there on the vault. Ava Anthes due up next for Central Michigan. Now we're taking a look at the bars. Molly Freeman for the Broncos going down.
Molly Freeman just did a blind full to a big double cut.
Another strong performance there to get it started. We look back at the vault. Ava Anthes getting ready to go. freshman out of Ludington, Michigan. She's going to do some good things for the Chippewas this year. Vault and floor have really been her two main things this season.
Ava's actually going to do a vault that you don't see very commonly. She's going to do a front handspring, front pike vault.
Her high score so far this season, a 9.725. Done that 4 times this year. But looking at the beam, Alyssa Wiedemann.
Nice front tuck to flutter jump. Little bobble on that straddle 3/4, but still very nice. Beautiful and unique dismount from Alyssa.
So Wiedemann gets the Spartans off strong. And back to the vault.
There's that front handspring, front pike. You can see that huge height that Ava has in her vault. Just a small step forward on the landing. That should be a great score for the Chippewas.
So the first 2 on the vault for Central Michigan goes well. Now over to the bars. Danny Petrusik trying to follow up a good performance from Molly Freeman.
Great handstand there. Blindfold to a double pike.
So once again, that was Danny Petrusik for the Broncos. Let's take one more look at that. Just a little step back on that landing there. And now we're looking at the beam. Gianna Khalifi. Ready to go for the Spartans. By the way, some of those scores coming in from the vault. 9-7 for Skrupa and Ampez to get it started for Central Michigan. Wiedemann is on the beam for Michigan State, a 9.85, and here's the vault.
Nice Ruchenko full from Elizabeth Cesarone. She's had really strong vault careers, competed vault at every meet, and has been doing great.
Cesarone, a sophomore out of Lancaster, Pennsylvania, had a 9.825 as her highest score of the season on the vault, and that came their last time out at Kentucky.
So that nice straight body line is what the judges are looking for. Small step back.
Back to the beam. Gianna Khalifi is going, and also on the bars for Western Michigan, Donna Catherine Roy.
Toe hand to Shakash. The judges are really looking for the gymnast to hit their handstands.
Here's a look at the beam that was just going on, and there's the finish.
Beautiful stick finish.
Once again, that was Gianna Khalifi. Taking a look at Sierra Demarinis for Central Michigan. Getting ready to go on the vaults.
The senior has competed on vault every single meet during her 4 years here so far, and she's really looking to just keep doing what she's been doing the whole time, doing great.
Now we'll take a look at the finish from Western Michigan over on the bars.
Big full-in dismount. Little chest down, but still managed to stick that landing.
It's Donna Catherine Roy, one of the later additions to the 2021 class for Western Michigan. Demarinis put up her season high on the vaults. January 30th at Ball State, 9'8".
Huge rear tinkle full. Great vault for Sierra.
Sticks the landings, and her teammates excited and respectfully so. A good run there.
Has great amplitude. Keeps her hips open in a nice position.
Demarinis, a 2021 member of the second team All-MAC, has taken a glance over at the beam where Gabby Steven is getting ready to go. A promising young gymnast for the Spartans this season. Steven, a freshman out of Elgin, Illinois, was named one of 2 of the Big Ten gymnasts to watch for 2022. Just so happened that the other one was her teammate, Skyla Schulte.
Looks very strong up there. First series, a great back handspring layout, step out, beautiful lines.
Now you see Hannah Demers getting ready to take her shot at the vault. As Steven is finishing up on the beam.
Round off double full dismount to a stuck landing. Very nicely done for the Spartans.
So you saw the finish from Stevens, and here's Demers for Central Michigan on the vault just a second to go.
Great rear tinkle full for Hannah. She has a very nice flare out and finds that landing so easily.
She tied her season high on vault the last time out at Kentucky with a 9.850. Updating some of those scores that have been put on the scoreboard so far. Cicerone for Central Michigan, a 9.775 on the vault, and Demarinis a 9.8 on the other side. Freeman for Western Michigan, a 9.7. Petrusik, a 9.625 on the bars for the Broncos. And the team score on the beam for Michigan State so far, 19.775. That's now Hallie Faulkner getting ready on the beam.
Cal hop into a front giant. You don't see that very often. Very beautiful. Another great rear tinkle full for the Chippewas. Stuck landing for Katie Kowalski.
A lot happening right there. But you mentioned it, Katie Kowalski, that run on the vault there. Also on the bars, a stuck landing too, and now taking a look at the beam. Nia Smith getting ready to hop on. Faulkner with the 9.625. That last one on the bars was Peyton Murphy. Still awaiting her score for Western Michigan. Nia Smith, a junior from West Bloomfield, Michigan.
Handspring layout, step out. Nicely controlled.
Smith, a 2-time Junior Olympics national qualifier. That was back in 17 and 18.
Switch leap into a straddle quarter. Just a small bobble. Dismounts with a round off double back. Great routine for her.
Next up on the beam will be Leah Mitchell for the Spartans. And here's one more look at that dismount.
Great height. chest down a little bit on the landing, but absolutely gorgeous dismount.
Back to the bars. Sarah Morvansky for the Broncos getting prepared. Still waiting for that score to be put up for Murphy, and it looks like she just got the go-ahead. Murphy with a 9.650 for Western Michigan.
Great handstand. Very nice routine. The judges are really looking for the gymnasts to hit their handstand in the vertical position. Huge double layout with a stuck landing.
Leah Mitchell waiting her turn on the beam for Michigan State. Mitchell, a senior out of Boynton Beach, Florida. She's been the co-captain of this Spartans team the last 2 seasons. You mentioned how good that vault was from Katie Kowalski. Well, the final score up on the scoreboard, a 9.9 for Kowalski, a 9.85 for Demers.
Those are both huge scores that will tremendously help out the Chippewas in that vault rotation.
Gabby Stephen and Gianna Khalifi both putting up a 9.925 on the beam for Michigan State.
Great scores. Takachev, ooh, she just missed her hands there. Had huge height into it though.
Mitchell still waiting for that score. That score for Nia Smith on the beam for Michigan State, a 9.675, and now Mitchell finally getting to go. Mitchell, an NCAA Regionals qualifier in 2019.
Nice triple series there, back handspring layout, step out. She looks very confident up there. Full turn. Front aerial. Very nice split jump straddle quarter for Leah. The judges are really looking for those gymnasts to hit a 180-degree leap. Finishing out with a round-off full and a half.
Great performance there by Leah Mitchell for the Spartans.
Here's that triple series again. Great finish from Leah.
So next up on the beam for Michigan State will be Bailey Garcia. So we're taking a look at the bars for Western Michigan. A couple of exhibitions on the bars here to end it for Western Michigan. So right now, A 4.9025 on the board for Central Michigan.
That's a great vault score to start with. It's what they're looking for.
And it looks like a 48.5 for Western on the bars. And we're still waiting for Bailey Garcia to finish out the beam for Michigan State, and there she is. So waiting for confirmation on that final score, or that last score for Michigan State. Garcia, sophomore out of Boynton Beach, Florida. You may think that sounds familiar. That's because we just talked about it with Leah Mitchell from the same area in Florida. But Garcia, a sophomore who has done extremely well for the Spartans since coming into the program. In her Michigan State debut, she won the all-around in a tri-meet. That was between Nebraska, Ohio State, and Michigan State. She put up a 3.93 in the all-around there, and is still playing extremely well for Michigan State this season.
Looking to see some great things from her today. The Chippewas are debuting a new leotard today. Looks stunning on all of them.
New look. As a gymnast, you come out in something different for the first time. What kind of feeling does that give you?
Wearing that leotard for the first time is always the best. Just being able to show everyone.
Well, they gave it a good showing in the first time with that 49.025 on the vault. Obviously, still 3 more events left to go, and it looks like judges conversing around the beam, trying to figure out the score for Leah Mitchell. Western Michigan has finished on the bars as well, so just waiting on this one last performance from Bailey Garcia. And she's given the green light. Here goes Garcia.
Nice full turn. Solid backhand swing layout step out for her series. Front aerial into a split jump. Very good connection there. Switch leap split jump, showing great 180-degree leaps there. Side aerial to a full, sticks the landing. Very dynamic routine.
Well, not much else Michigan State expected from Bailey Garcia there, closing out the beam extremely well for Michigan State.
There's that series again. And that stuck dismount.
Great finish there for Garcia, and now just waiting on her score to end this first rotation. Once again, Central Michigan with a 49.025 on the vaults. 48.5 on the bars for Western Michigan. They were led on their end by Sarah Morvansky with a 9.85. A 9.9 the high for Central Michigan on the vault from Katie Kowalski. So just trying to figure out that final score to go ahead with this first rotation. Tori Loomis lining up on the beam for exhibition. And it looks like that score in for Garcia, that's a 9.825, which puts Michigan State at a 49.350 for their turn on the beam.
Huge score for that first event. Exactly where Michigan State wants to be.
Just ahead of Central Michigan so far. They lead the first rotation. 49.350 on the beam for Michigan State. 49.025 for CMU on the vaults. And then on the bars for Western Michigan, a 48.525. And those are your scores for this first rotation.
Great series from this exhibition on beam. Good full turn. Although this score will not count for the Spartans, this routine is looking great. Gainer dismount.
So there's the end of the exhibition, but a tight first rotation. Michigan State with their 49.350 on the beam, the highest score for the three teams inside McGurk Arena tonight. And we'll leave you with the 9.9 from Katie Kowalski. We've made it through the first rotation, getting ready for the second. As you look at the bars, that's where Western Michigan started out tonight, and Sarah Morvansky got the highest score over there for the Broncos.
Replay of that great dismount there.
And moving into the second rotation, taking a look at Central Michigan, getting ready on the bars. Western Michigan slides over to the beam, and Michigan State will be on the floor for this second rotation. And there are your scores from the first. And Michigan State really shined on the beam, a score that they were probably expecting coming into this with a 49.350, but also a good performance from Central Michigan on the vault.
Yes, great routines from all of the gymnasts here.
A couple of individuals really helping out their sides. Katie Kowalski with the 9.9 for Central Michigan, as now you're looking at the Broncos on the beam, but there's the individual scores for Central Michigan. We talked about Katie Kowalski a few times, finishing out that rotation with a 9.9 for CMU, and then Hannah Demers right before her with a 9.85. A couple of good performances there from the Chippewas. Michigan State as they're getting ready for the floor. Some good scores all around.
Great scores for Michigan State. Seeing 5 out of 6 of those above a 9.8.
And very strong performances. You could tell that from the moment they started. And there's those scores from the bars for Western Michigan. Mentioned Sarah Morvansky, who really led the way. 9.85 for Morvansky. Just slightly under her high of a 9.875 that she put up at the MAC championships last season. And looking forward to these rotations for CMU. They're getting ready on the bars. And it's Leah Kamichek who has started, and then there it is. There's the rest of it. Savannah Kotis, Brenna Hauser, Annie Hammonds, Adriana Bustello, and Hannah Demers. A solid rotation there for CMU.
That is a strong lineup right there.
And now moving over to the Spartans to take a look at what they've got coming up. And it'll all start with Sydney Ewing. We saw Nia Smith on the beam as well for Michigan State. Leah Mitchell coming after her, and Western Michigan preparing for the beam. Under a minute left in their touch warm-up here from McGurk Arena. I'll start out with Dani Petrusik on the beam, and then followed up by Josephine Thomas. Let's get a look at inside McGurk Arena here, where all three teams going at it. See a good crowd, all three teams from inside the state of Michigan, and of course, the two big rivals between Central Michigan and Western Michigan, but Michigan State bringing a lot of competition here to Mount Pleasant tonight.
Lots of support out there in the stands.
And here's just a few looks at the last rotation where we mentioned Michigan State showed out on the beam. A good score on the vault from CMU. That one, Sierra Demarinis. And here's one more look at the bars for Western Michigan. Great dismount there. And that concludes their touch warm-up, so we're getting ready for this second rotation. Michigan State with a slight lead to this point. Western Michigan breaking their huddle from around the beam. And here's Leah Kamicek on the bars, getting it started.
This is her first competition for the Chippewas. Huge double layout, stuck landing. Great feeling to be out there for the first time.
Well, her debuting a new leotard, and also a good first performance on the bars for Central Michigan.
Teammates are clearly very proud of that performance there.
And you can just see the emotion from her down there, getting all those hugs from her teammates. And we'll take a look at the beam where Western Michigan's going at it. Danny Petrusik.
Side aerial flutter jump. Side touch roll. Side aerial full, stuck landing. Very nice routine for the Broncos.
And now it's to the floor, or Sydney Ewing is the first out there for the Spartans.
Round off full and a half to a front full. Very nice finish for Sydney.
Well, the senior from Frisco, Texas, getting an ovation from her teammates on the floor as we move back to the bars with Savannah Cotis for Central Michigan.
Savannah has beautiful lines on the bars. Giant full to a double back here. Little step back on the landing.
Kamicek for Central Michigan with a 9.85 to get things started on the bars. And as Nora mentioned, her first for Central Michigan. Western Michigan getting ready to put up Josephine Thomas on the bars.
Back handspring layout step out. A little wobble, but she controlled it nicely, brought it back. Those judges are really just looking for the routine to look effortless out there. Front aerial. Great series there. Finishing with a side aerial full. Good stick for the Broncos.
Well, and she followed up Danny Petrusik, who put up a 9.8 to start it on the bars, or on the beam for Western. And now taking a look at Brenna Hauser on the bars for CMU.
Just did a great bail to handstand. Hits that handstand on the high bar. She's going to end with a beautiful double full dismount. Very big dismount for her. She has lots of power on the bars.
Kamichek with a 9.85. Kotis a 9.625 on the bars. And then Hauser with a good performance here.
Here's a look back at that dismount. Great height, small step forward.
And here's Nia Smith on the floor for the Spartans. Caught the tail end of that one there. Sydney Ewing, who went before Smith, a 9.8 to start it on the floor for the Spartans. And now we'll go back to the beam where Donna Catherine Roy is getting started.
And they step out, very nice. Full turn. Back handspring layout, step out. You can see she is very focused up there. Switch sweep to a switch half. Finishing out with a round off full and a half.
And back to the bars here, where Annie Hammond is on for the Chippewas.
Very nicely hit handstand there. Finish out with a full in dismount. Great performance.
And Hammond follows up Hauser, who just came up on the scoreboard with a 9.775 for CMU. And here's that dismount one more time for Hammond.
Very nice height. You can see it go above the bar there.
And here's Leah Mitchell on the floor for Michigan State.
Round off full and a half front layout.
And this is one of the best routines for Leah Mitchell. Her career high on the floor for Michigan State, a 9.95.
You can just tell she has lots of energy out there. Great lead pass. Into a double pike. Beautiful landing. Very controlled. There's a Tkachev.
And now back to bars. Adriana Bustello on for CMU.
Great blind full dismount. Little uneven with the feet. Beautiful routine.
Updated scores, it was a 9.825 for Annie Hammond. Now waiting on the score for Bustello.
Chippewas are doing very strong on bars.
Scores in from the floor. Nia Smith with a 9.75 on the floor.
See their celebratory glasses there and necklace.
And where exactly did those glasses come from, Nora? I know you have a little bit of background in it, but it's one of those things you can see that's always keeping their energy up over there, and they're being passed around.
Oh yeah, last year some of the parents got those glasses for us, and they've just kind of become a staple on meet day.
Now you're looking at Delaney Harkness on the floor for Michigan State.
Round up back handspring full in. That is a very difficult pass, executed beautifully. You don't see that pass very often. Dynamic leaps. You can tell she's really bringing the judges in with her performance. Just enjoying her time out there. Front tuck to a double back. Very nice.
Once again, that was Delaney Harkness on the floor for Michigan State. Now we're looking at Western Michigan on the beam. This one, Amanda Gruber. Miss Morvansky, who came up with a 9-7 for Western.
Great series right there. Cat leap switch half. Ooh, didn't quite get her hands around the bar on that one.
Well, back to the bars, or the beam.
Round off 4.5. Beautiful stick. Her feet were not moving on that one.
Now you can see she's happy. Gruber, a junior out of Riverside, Illinois, will take another look at this one. She didn't compete in 2021, and this has to be a good feeling to be back.
Oh yeah, coming back strong.
Very strong performance there. And that just leaves Peyton Murphy. Will be the 6 up on the beam for Western. And this is Skyla Schulte on the floor for MSU.
Another round up back handspring pull in. 2 feet went out of there. There will be a deduction for that, but. The Spartans are really performing these floor routines.
Peyton Murphy, the last one up on the beam for Western Michigan, and one of the leaders of this Broncos team.
Double back there for the Spartans. Great routine.
Great finish there for Schulte.
Got Ashley Veglucci getting ready for the bars.
One of the 2 exhibitions Central Michigan has over there in this rotation.
Starts off with a good ginger into a pack. Very nice for Ashley. She's gonna finish her routine with a full twisting double back. Very nice stick.
Well, a good finish there from Veglucci. By the way, those last 2, Bustello came up with a 9.825 for Central Michigan. Demers a 9.825. So the last 3 on the bars for CMU, all 9.825.
Those are great scores.
The scores for Michigan State on the floor right now are looking pretty good too. Sydney Ewing started it with the 9.8, then you had a 9.75 from Nia Smith. Leah Mitchell a 9.875, and Delaney Harkness a 9.9.
That routine was certainly a 9.9.
Still waiting for that score on the last one from Skylar Schulte. Just taking a look at Central Michigan as they finished up on the bars. And this one, Ashley Hoffelick over on the floor for the Spartans. Senior out of Novi. Career high on the floor, a 9-9.
Round up back handspring double pike. Very nice. She's all smiles after that pass. Nice pike on her leaps. Now 4.5 front layout. Very nicely controlled. Finishing out with a round up back handspring double back. Great routine.
Well, Hoffelick, great performance to end the floor for Michigan State there. And we're going to see even more great performances on the floor before this is done. You see Western Michigan getting ready to move on. That is one of their best events so far. Peyton Murphy, by the way, on the beam, comes up with a 9-4. Well, for Hoffelick, a 9.925 there on the floor for Michigan State. That ends our second rotation, and we're looking forward to the third from in here in McGurk Arena. Great performance by Michigan State. Back inside McGurk Arena and looking at Central Michigan on the bars here, and in her debut for the Chippewas, it's Leah Kamichek who sticks the landing.
She had the highest score for the Chippewas on bars. Very great leadoff routine.
9.85. That got them started on the bars, and some good performances there to close out for Central Michigan too in those final three. And we are still only halfway through right now. Still a lot of great performances to be had here inside McGurk Arena. Taking a look at this third rotation, you have Michigan State. See them getting ready on the vaults. Central Michigan moves over to the beam, and Western Michigan, one of their best events, is on the floor. And taking a look at the Mid-American Conference standings, you can see Western Michigan right up there at the top with Kent State. And a lot of these teams ranked right around 50 in the nation for the Mid-American Conference, but some good numbers there throughout.
Yes, they have been having a great year.
They're looking to continue. They've faced some tough opponents, and you could say the exact same thing for Michigan State. We mentioned their two losses to number 1 Michigan, number 17 Iowa. Those are currently two of the 3 undefeated teams within the conference for the Big Ten. Michigan State right down in the middle at 1 and 2. Still ranked 15th in the nation, but you can tell a very talented squad out here tonight. So just about ready to get underway in this third rotation. Right now, Michigan State leading the way with a 9.86 overall through the first 2 rotations. A 9.8, 1.25 for Central Michigan. And then Western right behind with a 9.735.
Those are great scores for all 3 teams.
They are in Western Michigan. Yes, trailing a little bit here, but mentioned a couple times tonight. They are dazzling on the floor. A lot of great performances out there for them. And Katie Kowalski getting started on the beam here for Central Michigan.
Katie's a strong leadoff on this event.
Sophomore out of Freeland, Michigan. 9-8, the highest score she's put up this season on the beam. That came back at the beginning of January against Illinois.
There you saw her big switch leap, switch half beat jump. Back handspring layout, step out series. Looking very strong up there. Katie has a unique dismount that you don't see very often. She's going to do a handstand, layout, step out to a full. Beautifully done by Katie.
So Kowalski gets things started there for the Chippewas. Now you're taking a look at the floor where it's Sarah Morvansky for the Broncos.
On the back handspring, double back. Very nice height on her leaps. See her teammates dancing with her on the sidelines. Front layout, front full. Great leadoff for the Broncos. See the excitement in her face.
Well, that's where a lot of these Broncos feel comfortable as we hop back over to the beam. It's Alicia Kolibanova for the Chippewas.
This is her first season competing college gymnastics, and she is doing great for the Chippewas. Good 180 leaps. Big front aerial to back handspring for her series. Little wobble there. Brought it back nicely. She has a great artistry and great lines. Good full turn.
As we're watching Kolibanova here, there's the scores from the second rotation, including Kamichek, who led off with that 9.85 and really led the way for CMU.
Huge performance from the freshman. Finished off with a tuck front full dismount.
That was Kolibanova for CMU. Now we're looking at the floor where Danny Petrusik is going.
And handspring front full layout. Right into our dance. Just like on beam, on floor, those leaps, the judges are looking for pointed toes, straight legs, and that 180-degree split.
And there's the scores from the second rotation. 9.875 from Amanda Gruber was their best that they showed out with on the beam.
On the back handspring double pike. Good performance there on floor.
Now to the vaults. It's Michigan State. Bailey Garcia. Garcia waiting patiently for her turn on the vaults. Lauren Shu, who went first, 9.750. Sawyer followed her with a 9.7. Taking a look back at Quinn Skrupa on the beam.
Chinko full. Great landing.
And there's Michigan State's second rotation there. Very strong performance from them on the floor, including that 9.925 from Ashley Hefelick.
Very nice. They're looking to continue those great performances.
Hefelick and Harkness really leading the way on the floor exercise for the Spartans.
A double wolf turn there for Quinn. It's a very unique turn you don't see very commonly in college gymnastics. Great front aerial. A side aerial tuck full to a stuck landing. Very pleased with that performance.
Well, Kowalski got it started with a 9.825, then it was a 9.65 from Kolivanova, and then a great performance there from Quinn Skrupa. Take a look at this one more time.
Great landing.
Back to the vaults.
Another Yurchenko full there. Good height, good landing.
Donna Catherine Roy on the floor for the Broncos. Started off with a 9.85 for Morvansky, and then Petrusik with a 9.825. First two scores for the Western Michigan Broncos.
Front tuck, round off that handspring, double pike. It was a very difficult pass.
Adriana Bustello on the beam, by the way. 9.85 for Quinn Skrupa in her last performance.
Adriana placed second on beam at the Max last year, so she is just looking to continue doing great on the beam.
Sophomore out of Mason, Ohio.
Beautiful back handspring layout, step out. She's been a very consistent competitor for the Chippewas. Switch leap into a split jump. Beautiful front toss to a scale. He jumped to a split three-quarter. She's going to finish out her routine here with a round-off back layout full and a half. Great landing.
Adriana Bustello, great finish there, and now it's over to the floor with Cassie St. Clair.
Broncos certainly have a lot of energy on the floor. They're all just having fun out there. Great leaps. Ending with a huge front double twist. Great routine on the floor.
Well, a few great performances, all 9.825 or higher as we await the score for Cassie St. Clair on the floor. But here's Hannah Demers on the beam. The score for Bustelo right before her, a 9.775 for CMU.
Cat leap to a front aerial. Into a series of a handspring layout, step out. Switch leap to a split jump. Very nice leaps. Hannah is a very smooth beam worker. A front aerial to a scale. That is called a Lucan. Very nicely done.
Demers, the reigning MAC Gymnast of the Week. Trying to put up another good performance for CMU.
She's been doing quite well this season. She's looking to continue that momentum. Side aerial full. Sticks the landing.
Say that's a good way to continue it for Hannah Demers. Next up on the beam for CMU will be Sarah Demarinis.
Dismount again. Great stick.
See the emotion from Demers there. She's got the glasses on, talking to the head coach, Christine McDonald. We'll switch over to the floor. Peyton Murphy going now.
Front tuck to a round off double back. Very nice height.
St. Clair, her score 9.825 before Murphy, so still nobody below that 9.825 mark on the floor.
It's clear the Broncos are very strong on floor. A Rudy to a huge straddle jump. That consistency from the Broncos is really going to help them out. Round off double pike. Very nice finish.
She's getting her teammates fired up as well. And a great performance from Peyton Murphy. And they finish at the same time as Sierra Demarinis.
Sierra just had a great beam routine. Stuck her dismount. Chest down a little bit, but managed to keep those feet down, have a beautiful finish.
Well, waiting on Demarinis' score now, but Hannah Demers right before her put up a 9.85 on the beam for CMU. And on the floor, waiting for Peyton Murphy's score as well. You look at the head coach, Christine McDonald there. It's brought in some very good young gymnasts, and you can tell there's a good mix between old and new here at Central Michigan, and I feel like they're benefiting from that a lot.
Yes, certainly they are.
She gives a pep talk to Taylor Pitchell, who's performing an exhibition on the beam.
Taylor competed on the beam 2 times last season, and she is just looking to get more experience in this exhibition spot.
Score in from the floor, a 9.875 for Peyton Murphy.
Great score for the Broncos.
Now it's Carissa Ludwig for the Broncos. Trying to finish off a very strong rotation here for Western Michigan. Ludwig, a senior out of Clarkston, Michigan.
Front tuck to a round off double back. She had 1 step out of bounds, so that will be a 10th off of her score.
Her career high on the floor in 9.925. That came about a year ago, February 21st, 2021.
Is a great score, so she's looking to do that again this year. Ending with a round off double pipe.
And now back to Taylor Pitchell on the beam.
Back handspring layout, step out, managed to save it. Takes a lot of focus to bring it back from that. Switch side, chest down on the landing, but again, great save from Taylor.
And with a little wobble like that, what do you have to tell yourself in your mind when you're up there on the beam to just keep moving forward?
Yep, you just got to stay focused, stay in the moment, never give up in that time. Front tuck to a beat jump, very nice. A gainer full off the side of the beam. Very nicely done.
Taylor Pitchell, the junior out of Wethersfield, Connecticut.
You know, any experience they can get out there on the beam will just build their confidence more and more. So great to see her out there.
And for Western Michigan, they have a couple of exhibitions on the floor exercise. First one, Abby Singh for the Broncos, as they're still waiting for that final score of the first 6 for Western to come in from Carissa Ludwig. Still nothing below a 9.825. Murphy put up the highest with a 9.875 for the Broncos.
I don't think you can emphasize enough that floor really is just the Broncos' great event. On a 4.5 front layout, right into our dance.
The score up for Carissa Ludwig, a 9.75 to cap it off on the floor for Western. Have this exhibition. They have one more after this.
It's Hallie Hornbacher on the beam. This is her first time competing. Looks great out there. I know she is just so excited to be back out there on the competition floor.
Gets to do it here inside McGurk Arena too.
At leaps, side aerial, full, beautiful routine. You can tell her team is just so proud of her for that performance. She has been working so hard for that.
Obviously, you can see the energy there from the Central Michigan side. Say, in general, from all 3 teams tonight, there's been pretty high energy inside here.
Yes, they definitely have kept the energy high, and that's just going to help them have great performances.
So just one more exhibition. So once again, that 9.75, the final score on the floor for Western Michigan. Abby Singh was the first exhibition, and now Josephine Thomas getting ready to go for the last exhibition on the floor.
A huge 49.2 for Western on the floor exercise.
Well, looking at those scores, the 9.75, the lowest from Ludwig. So getting to keep some good scores there for the Broncos. Trying to make up some ground. They were in third coming into this third rotation and definitely did their thing on the floor.
They certainly did.
They're flipping the scores from the first exhibition on the floor for Abby Singh. Looks like a 9-7 for her. And Josephine Thomas getting ready to go, the junior out of Adamstown, Maryland. Set her career high on the floor back in March of 2020, a 9.85.
Starting off with a round-off back handspring double pike. Right into a front layout, front full. Good lead. Finishing out here with a round off whip back 1.5. Very nicely done.
Well, not the last exhibition for Western Michigan. Josephine Thomas, a nice performance. Western Michigan with a 49-2 on the floor. And you can see Central Michigan happy with their well, the fans enjoying it here inside McGurk Arena as we've had some good performances here between Western Michigan, Michigan State, and Central Michigan right here inside McGurk Arena. Riley Edwards alongside Nora Fettinger on ESPN as you're taking a look at the scores after that third rotation. And Western Michigan had a really good rotation on the floor, a 49-2, and now they're at a 146-55 overall.
They made up some ground with that floor.
Exactly what they were expecting to do there. Central Michigan right behind Michigan State for the lead overall. But some good rotations last time around. And now you look at this fourth rotation, Western Michigan going to the vault. You can see Central Michigan on the floor, and Michigan State will go to the bars. And here's some scores from the beam for Central Michigan. Gwen Skrupa, Hannah Demers, both with a 9.85.
Great scores for the Chippewas.
Lois Kolibanova with a 9.6, but a good performance overall for Central Michigan on the beam as they're getting ready for that floor exercise. Taking a look at the bars where Michigan State is getting ready to go. They'll be led by Elena Rabin, but here's the scores they put up on the vaults in the last rotation. Some good scores there, led by Gabby Stephen. I mean, what's new? She's been great this year for Michigan State. Puts up a 9.875 on the floor.
Nothing we didn't expect from her.
And there's Western Michigan getting ready on the vaults here in this fourth and final rotation. And there's their scores from the floor. We've been talking about it for, I mean, since basically the middle of the last rotation, and you can see why. The lowest score for Western there, a 9.75 from Carissa Ludwig, but a couple of 9.85s, 9.825s, and a 9.875 from Peyton Murphy, who led the way.
You know, dropping that 9.75, it just shows how great they're doing on the floor exercise.
Oh, and moving up a little bit in terms of points, but still a lot to go here in this fourth rotation as just about 10 seconds left for these touch warm-ups for these three teams. But what a night we have had so far. Some great competition here inside McGurk Arena, and all of them coming from the state of Michigan. And here's what you're going to see on the floor for Central Michigan. Alicia Kolibanova, the junior, getting ready to go on the floor first. Katie Kowalski, who had a 9.9 on vault, getting her chance on the floor as well. And for Western, taking a look at the vaults, they'll get started with Abby Singh. They'll go to Donna Catherine Roy afterwards, and it'll be Peyton Murphy to close it out for Western Michigan. Now taking a look at the floor. Alicia Kolivanova for the Chippewas getting started.
She's been in lineup on floor every meet so far, and she's doing great. She has a 2-pass routine. The last pass here, round off double back.
Kolivanova, a junior from Iowa City, Iowa. She put up a 9.775 on the floor 3 times so far this season. Last time was in Kentucky just a week ago.
Ended there with a switch ring half, her unique skill called the Trevor. Great performance. Great way to start off the Chippewas.
So Kolivanova gets through her routine. Now, the bars for Michigan State.
Blind half. A toe front pike dismount. Nicely done.
Teammates giving her some high fives for that good performance. Get to see the very end of that finish there for Western Michigan on the vault. And there's what's coming up for them. Abby Singh led off, Donna Catherine Roy, Danny Petrusik, and then Carissa Ludwig all the way at the end to close it out for the Broncos. Katie Kowalski over on the floor for Central Michigan.
Round up back handspring, double pike, very big.
A 9-8 the score for Alicia Kolivanova, the first one on the floor for CMU.
This is Katie's first season on floor, and she is doing amazing. Round off full and a half front layout, very nicely done. Katie's going to finish out this routine with a round up back handspring double tuck. Good height from Katie.
Great performance there from Kowalski. Let's take a look at it one more time.
That double salto, very nicely done. There's also a pass there for Michigan State. Good handstand. Toe handstand into a bail to handstand, very nice. She's showing great lines on bars. Line full into a double tuck, and she sticks the landing.
Great finish there for Michigan State on the bars. Gabby Steven there with the finish. It was a 9.075 for Elena Rabin. The first one up on the bars for Michigan State.
Taylor Pitchell getting ready on the floor. Her high score on the floor is a 9.95.
And you could see the confidence for Pitcher last season on the floor, and has definitely carried that over to this season. So now we'll take a look at Western Michigan on the vaults. Sarah Morvansky.
With Chinkle full, very big vault.
And Pitchell still waiting for that score from Katie Kowalski to officially be put up on the board. As Bailey Garcia getting started on the bars. It's a 9.775 for Steven.
Good toe hand into a Satosh. Spartans are looking good on bars. Hits that last handstand nicely. Blind full. Into a double layout. Very nice.
Another good routine by Bailey Garcia. Leah Mitchell will be up next on the bars for Michigan State, but back to the vault with Western Michigan. And now Taylor Pitchell ready to go on the floor. 9.825 for Katie Kowalski, the official score put up.
Taylor's routine this year really just brings out her bubbly personality. Starting off with a huge round up back handspring double pike. Very nice leap. She has a great line on the floor. Front layout, front full. A little stumble, but she covers it up nicely with her dance. Finish up her routine here with a round up back handspring double back. Huge double back there. Wonderful performance.
Very confident performance there from Taylor Pitchell. Trying to follow up the 9.825 from Katie Kowalski is taking a look at Leah Mitchell on the bars for Michigan State.
Very nice start to her routine. Michigan State does a great job of hitting those handstands. A good double layout.
It's a 9.650 for Bailey Garcia on the bars. Now they just wait for Leah Mitchell's score. We're taking a look at Western Michigan on the vault here.
Her Chinkle full. Very nicely done.
And now back to the floor with Central Michigan and Ashley Veglucci. 9.8 for Taylor Pitchell.
On a back handspring, double back. Ashley has some very big tumbling. Front handspring, double front full there. Very difficult pass. She really brings the power on floor. Last year she did a 2-pass routine. This year she upgraded to a 3-pass routine and is looking great. Last pass there, round off back handspring, 2.5 twist into an immediate front tuck. Very nicely done. That's the kind of performance CMU is looking for.
And here's Peyton Murphy to cap off the vault.
Huge rear tinkle full, 6th to landing, keeps an open body shape throughout. Very nicely done.
Well, for Western Michigan, they had a 9.7 from Morvanski. Faulkner put up a 9.775, and then this performance from Peyton Murphy.
Big amplitude there. Great job.
Michigan State on the bars. The score for Leah Mitchell put up a 9.825 for the Spartans. And now Skylar Schulte getting ready to go. Correction, Delaney Harkness getting ready to go.
Great handstand there. Toe hand into a nice stinger. Bailed a handstand. Looking very strong in the bars. Great lines, beautiful handstands. Great amplitude. Buckles in the knees a little bit at the landing, but overall a great routine.
Well, that was Harkness there. Before her, it was Schulte. She put up a 9.875 on the bars. So Michigan State waiting for that final score from Delaney Harkness on that performance we saw. But on the floor, Hannah Demers.
Very high energy routine from Hannah here. Round up back handspring, double pike. You can tell she's making eye contact with the judges here, drawing them into her routine. Very dynamic leaps. Finishes out here with a front full into a Rudy, or apologies, a front layout into a Rudy. Great routine from Hannah.
Oh, and she gets rushed by her teammates over there on the floor. Performance before her from Ashley Vaglucci, that was scored as a 9.85.
Very deserving, great score for her.
And Sierra Demarinis will have to wait for the score for Demers as we look at this pass.
There is front layout into a Rudy. Nice landing. Keeps her chest up.
There's Demarinis, who's waiting to get on the floor next. The final score on the vault for Western Michigan, a 9.875 for Peyton Murphy. And Delaney Harkness gets a 9.8 on the bars to cap it off for Michigan State.
Great scores to end on. Sierra's been in the anchor spot on floor now for 2 years, and she has been doing phenomenal. Here's her first pass. Round up back handspring, double back. Very nicely controlled, huge amplitude. Great 180 leaps. Round off 4.5 layout into a double stag. Finished out with a double pike. Incredible routine. All smiles from Sierra here.
So a great performance there from Demarinis, trying to follow up the 9.875 that Demers put up on the floor. So waiting for that final score.
Here's a look at Sierra's pass again. Very strong, consistent on the floor. Now Chippewa's had a great floor rotation.
Well, and they're very happy for Demarinis. And they give her a 9.95 on the floor to close it out.
Wow, that is a huge score. I believe that is her career high score. Very much deserving.
We talked about Taylor Pitchell putting up a 9.95 on the floor last season, and Sierra Demarinis does it here tonight.
It's a very rare score to come by, and she deserves that score.
You could tell by the reactions from her teammates that she executed that about as perfect as she could in that situation.
She certainly did.
And she is all smiles over there by her teammates. A big, big score to cap off the floor exercise.
And a great senior season.
And now looking at the exhibition on the floor, Elizabeth Patel.
Huge double pike for her there. Big leaps. You can see Liz's smiley personality shining through in her routine. Front layout, front full. Very nicely done. Last pass, wound up that handspring, double back. Beautiful. I know she's put a lot of hard work into that routine, and her teammates are clearly very proud of her for that performance.
Well, hugs all around on the CMU side of things right now. You get the 9.95 from Sierra Demarinis, and then a great exhibition performance there from Elizabeth Patel. But we're going to step aside. We'll come back and recap everything afterwards, but we have to show you this from Sierra Demarinis one more time. Back with you one last time from inside McGurk Arena, and you take a look at those final scores up there. Very, very close when it came down to it at the end, but Michigan State with the 1.965. Central Michigan just behind with the 1.96475, and then Western Michigan there at the end, a 1.954. And let's go through that last rotation one more time on the floor. I mean, some great performances, but you really can't go through this without talking about Sierra Demarinis with a career high 9.95.
Sierra really just gave her heart out there.
A lot of good performances there. You see the scores from Western Michigan on the vault, led by Peyton Murphy with a 9.875, one of the better performers this year for the Broncos.
She's definitely someone to watch this season.
Definitely been big and performed throughout tonight. And there's Michigan State. They ended on the bars for the final rotation. And it was Skyla Schulte with a 9.875. Leah Mitchell also with a 9.825. But that rotation there for Michigan State really ended up making this close in the long run, especially when Central Michigan performed how they did on the floor.
It certainly did.
So
it just shows that quarter of a tenth they were separated by. It comes down to every single routine, every last tenth.
Very, very close. And, well, that about does it for us here tonight. And there's the final score one last time. Michigan State with a 1.965. Central Michigan 1.96475, just behind them. And Western Michigan in third, 1.95.4. And that about does it for us here from Mount Pleasant. For North Fettinger, I'm Riley Edwards, and the rest of our crew here from Mount Pleasant.